Hi, welcome to the Tabs and Icons video series. In this particular video, we're going to look at slicers and dynamic reporting in Microsoft Excel. Now, what are slicers? Slicers are basically quick, flexible, and dynamic filtering buttons that you use to analyze data in an Excel table. Now, from that slide definition, we'll notice that slicers can only be used on Excel data table. Now, let's look at our table and see what information we have. Now, I have this information in the data range. That means I can't use slicers here because we've just said it can only be used on an Excel data table. So first, I'm going to convert this information to a data table by Ctrl T. We take that, I hit my enter key. So now this information is now in an Excel data table. So I can click on slicer, which is in the insert tab. Under the filter group, we have the slicer and timelines. Now for this training, we're going to concentrate only on slicers. Now when I click on slicers, you will notice that the headings of that table will be displayed here. We have 4 headings. Yes, I have 4 headings. Now I ask myself, what am I going to use to analyze this table? First, I can analyze by zone, and I can also analyze by grade of the staff. So if I click OK, 2 slicers will come up. One slicer for grade, another slicer for zone. Now these slicers are flexible. You can resize them. I can just resize this, move this one under it, and also resize that. Now slicers are used majorly for Excel dashboard reporting, and in which case you will need to size them to smaller limits so that you can actually create space for your dashboard. Now I have created these 2 slicers. These 2 slicers are automatically linked to my data table. Now because I'm going to use these 2 slicers alone, I can change the color, change this color just to create some difference. I come here, click this, go to my slicer, and I select another color just to create a difference. So I have these 2 slicers. Now, what have I done? I have linked these 2 slicers to this data. So if I'm looking, if you check all this Benin down to Kano, Assistant Manager down to Maria, they are all highlighted, showing that the whole of this information is represented. Now, I want to see staff from only Benin. All I need to do is to click on Benin. Now, these are the staff from Benin. Now, I want to see staff from Enugu. I just click on Enugu. I want to see staff from Lagos. I click on Lagos. Now, I want to see all the staffs that are assistant managers. So I let all the zones be, and I select assistant manager. These are all the assistant managers. Now, I can actually link my slicer to a chart. So let me highlight this and create a column chart. We know how to create a column chart. Alt F1. Alt F1 will give me a column chart. So I've highlighted that. I take Alt F1 and I get my column chart. Now, this is the column chart showing assistant managers in all the regions. How about if I want assistant managers only in Benin? I select assistant manager from the grade, and under the zone, I select Benin. There are just 2 assistant managers. Now, this is all the assistant managers. If I want to see all the deputy managers, I click on deputy manager. If I want to see managers, I select managers. Now, when I select manager, you notice that Kano is grayed out there, meaning that there's no manager from the zone Kano. Now, if you check through the zone here, you will notice that there is no manager from this zone. Now, I can now ask myself, who is the highest manager in the whole of the data array? I can see Benin, Kenneth is the most performing manager. I want to see the best assistant manager, and I can see here that Peters from Lagos is the best performing manager. High bar deputy manager, I can select this. Now, this is how you use your slicers. Now, we've used slicers on a very elementary scale. Slicers are used when you're preparing dashboard reporting. A lot of slicers can be used. You can create series of slicers. We've just used only 2 slicers in this particular instance. Thank you very much for listening. In other videos, we'll see much more of what Excel can do. Bye-bye.